between the Wisconsin DNR and the UW system. Oh, did my screen stop sharing? Or can you still see the slideshow? Oh, there we go. Okay, sorry. That recording threw me off, Erin. So WICCI's mission is to generate and share information that can foster solutions to climate change in Wisconsin. And kind of overall, what they want to do is sort of be the link between researchers and climate science and then climate adaptation. So kind of bringing science into practice. And we have three main objectives for the organization. The first is to develop scientific understanding of climate impacts, right? Kind of start at the ground, what's going to happen. Then identify where in Wisconsin there are vulnerabilities, either in a certain area or a subject area or in a particular location. And then finally, enable successful problem solving, really figure out how to get on the ground action and solutions in place. And WICCI is really formed around our working groups. And we have all of the working groups shown here. They're kind of in these 4 different areas. So the climate working group is in the air area. We have some water-based working groups, of which the Great Lakes Working Group is one, land-based working groups, and then people-based working groups. 3 working groups are new in the last few years. So the Great Lakes Working Group is new, the Tourism Working Group, which Natalie Chin is the chair of, and I know she's here somewhere, although I can't see her on the list. And then the Infrastructure Working Group are all new. And in kind of 2021, so WICCI did a bunch of stuff in the past. We put together like a really cool report in 2011 and then kind of went through not a full hiatus, but a period of lack of activity is what I will say. And so moving forward, I just want to talk about kind of our major initiative, which is our new report. Before I talk about that, I do want to say that WICCI has launched their new website. So for those of you who are looking for more information, there's a bunch on the website. It's wicci.wisc.edu. I have it at the end of my presentation also, and I can put it in the chat when I'm done as well. But our major initiative for 2021 is an updated WICCI assessment report. We previously put together an assessment report in 2011 that was a very thick, like 300-page hard copy document. But for the new report, we have 10 more years of climate change data, which is great. We can update the data, update our projections. So all of that will be included in the new report. Our previous report, the audience was really kind of science and technical folks. This new report, the primary audience is actually going to be decision makers. So the format of the report and how the information is presented is going to be tailored a little bit differently to this kind of broader non-technical audience. Instead of the hard copy like we had before, we're going to have an electronic format. So the positives of this is that it's really easy to get out to people. We can update it really easily. And so hopefully more people can see it and see all the great work that all the working groups have been doing. This time around, we want to utilize narratives to improve our science communication and take more of a storytelling kind of approach. We also, and this is really important, want to put a greater emphasis on climate justice. So this was something that wasn't included in the last report, and we think really should be integrated throughout the whole report this time around. We also are adding some climate mitigation strategies. The previous report focused only on adaptation, but now we want to have a few more proactive strategies and go into mitigation a little bit. For this, our updated action plan for 2021, like I said, we have the updated assessment report and rollout. WICCI is launching a speakers bureau so that we can have easy to find list of people in case anyone wants someone to come talk or just learn more about climate change for your organization or figure out how you can get some help. That'll be really accessible on the website. We are collaborating with the UW Extension's climate leadership team to hold trainings throughout the state so that everyone can feel a little more agency and ability to kind of understand these climate change issues and tackle them within their own organizations. And like everyone else, we are expanding our social media and digital content, which is always great to bring it back into 2021. For our steps towards climate justice, every member of WICCI and especially the kind of co-chairs of all the working groups are being encouraged to engage in diversity, equity, and inclusion programs and trainings. So WICCI is also trying to develop some for our members as well. Like I said, we are going to address environmental and climate justice in the 2021 report and make that kind of throughout the whole report and really integrated, because it is a really important issue that's integrated throughout everything. It's not something to just kind of be put towards the end of the report. WICCI is sponsoring a climate justice session at the 2021 Climatic Research Bryson Climate Symposium. And we're also in the early stages of developing a Climate Fellows program for students of color through WICCI. So once that comes out, I'll definitely share it with Erin so she can share it with all of you as well. But how can you contribute? So I want to talk about the Great Lakes Working Group, which I'm a co-chair of. Will say if anyone's interested in the other working groups, send me an email. I can connect you with those co-chairs as well. So our focus for the Great Lakes Working Group is really on the ecological system. So fisheries, coastal wetlands, water quality, etc. Obviously, these all impact people in different ways. So our report isn't just focused on the ecology, but also how those ecological changes will impact people as well. Our primary goals upcoming are, of course, to update our Great Lakes Working Group report. And it actually says update, but really we didn't have a working group report before the first time around. So we're creating this kind of from scratch. Second, we want to assess needs and knowledge gaps for climate adaptation in the Great Lakes Basin so that we can help develop products and outreach materials and work with UW Extension to put together trainings that will help ecosystem managers adapt to a changing climate. So how can you contribute? And I would love for all of you to contribute if you would like. The first way you could contribute is to help craft a story. So this is an example of a story. I don't expect that you're going to be able to read this, but as part of WICCI's outreach and refocusing on narratives for the updated report, we really do want to include these narratives and we need help sourcing them. So how has climate change impacted you? How has it, affected your city or your town? We really want to learn these stories. And we have a really handy little template that I can send to anyone who's interested, or I can also give it to Erin if Erin wants to email out to everyone. And we just need kind of really simple information to start. What's the topic of your story? Who are the key actors? Is it, maybe a certain person whose home got flooded? Is it, the county, your county conservation group, whatever? How has climate challenged you? What's happening? Is there an environmental justice element? And then links to any articles, blogs, etc. that you may have. WICCI has hired an actual science writer to help put together the new report. And so once we get these story templates, or once you send them to me, the science writer can then connect with you to develop to craft, a more thorough story. I'm obviously not going to be great at that as being a more technical person. And you don't have to feel like you need to be good at that either. All you have to do is provide the information and our science writer will reach out to you and put something really, really great together. The second way you can contribute is to write a project brief. Again, we have a very easy to use template. And these briefs are, just 2 pages geared towards a non-technical audience. Especially decision makers or policymakers, where you can summarize maybe a research project that you're working on, or an on-the-ground climate adaptation project that you're working on, or a vulnerability assessment. Explain the climate impact, why it's a concern, and maybe what your strategy or solution is. Again, if you're interested in this, you can send me an email. I'll send you the template and I will help in any way that I can help you pull this together. And these kind of project briefs are going to be highlighted on the website, as you have them written, but we'll also use them to add to our working group report. So your great climate adaptation actions can go in the report for all to see and learn from, hopefully. So with that, I'll just leave my contact information. I've highlighted kind of the 2 easier low entry level ways for you to contribute. If anyone is interested in becoming a working group member, please let me know. We would love to expand our membership. If you have other ideas for how the working group can either help your organization or could provide a product or a service, please let me know. I definitely am interested in hearing ideas that folks have and how our working group can become useful to everyone who's working on climate adaptation issues. My contact information is there, as is the WICCI website and our working group website. So I think we're doing questions after Natalie's, but if you have questions, feel free to put them in the chat and I can answer them there or once we get to the question period. Thank you.